Imagine a world where borders are no barriers to love. Welcome to African Abroad Date, a platform for Africans living in the US, Canada, Europe, Australia, and beyond seeking meaningful connections. We've been in the business of love for over 5 years, helping millions find their match. We offer a community where you can search for potential partners based on location, profession, and more. Our profiles are verified, and we provide options to maintain your privacy. Our mission: to help you find lasting love no matter where you are. Sign up today at www.africanabroaddate.com. Bid loneliness goodbye. Let love cross borders, because with African Abroad Date, you're never alone.
With African Abroad Date, you are never alone. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you have had a good weekend so far. Let me know in the comment section that you're here. I see we have 2 people already connected. Let me know that you're here, please, and say hello in the comment section, and also like. Okay, this is your time to like. So we have CB here already. We have Comfort. Look is in the comment section. Tell our other friends that we are live so they can join the conversation. And I also see here in the studio that some of our co-hosts are here already. So before I welcome them, I'm gonna introduce the topic of today. So today I want us to talk about something that is oftentimes overlooked, right? If you are from Africa like myself, you can relate to the fact that if a woman would leave her marriage with the reason of her husband being a cheat, or maybe the reason that she's being unhappy, a lot of people will misjudge and criticize her, and saying stuff like, does he hit you? And does he provide for you? How can you leave a man who is not violent? How can you leave a man who provides for you and like your family, right? And by doing so, there will be disregarding her feelings. There will be rendering ridicule her emotional well-being. So this is what I want us to talk about today as we go up over another letter from the heart. Okay, so I'm gonna welcome my co-host. CB is here. Miss Elise is here. Hi, CB. Miss Elise, good morning.
Bonsoir, Coach Michelle. Ça va?
Oh my God. The way you say bonsoir, I was like, is that Elise? Bonsoir, CB. Ça va bien, merci. Et toi?
Oh, he has a new
Feliz,
baby.
good evening.
Good evening,
I
my
just
dear.
went to shop her.
That was a good one. Good evening. Good afternoon, Michelle.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Michelle. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Yeah.
afternoon, Miss Elise.
Good
Happy
evening,
Sunday.
everyone. It's evening here already. Happy Sunday,
Yes,
everybody.
yes,
Thank you. Thank you.
it's getting late over there. So welcome everyone. Welcome people in the studio, in the comment section. Today we have an incredible show for you because we're gonna be talking about this thing that a lot of people don't talk about. And but let's go straight to the story. Okay.
Got married 6 years ago,
Let me know if you can
thinking I
hear the
was
story,
starting a
guys.
new life full of promise.
Yes, we can
Before
hear you.
that, I was madly in love with a man who made me feel alive, loved, and fulfilled. We were living an intense history, but our families, blinded by tribal differences, tore us apart. Despite our feelings, we were separated, and it left a deep wound in me. Later, I met another man whom I married, hoping to find lasting happiness. But for the past 6 years, I've been living a real ordeal. My husband is away, both physically and emotionally. He divides his life between 2 countries, accumulates infidelities that I have discovered several times, and despite his repeated promises to change, nothing helps. He can go months without touching me, leaving me alone with my desperate efforts to save our marriage and try to please him. We have a child, but he leaves me the sole care. His absence, not only physical but also emotional, is overwhelming, and when I finally dare to express my suffering, he throws in my face that he never really loved me, that I am only a choice imposed by his family. These words broke me, Coach, you have no idea, leaving me in deep disarray. Recently, during a ceremony, fate brought me face to face with my ex. Like me, he had married against his will, but our hearts remained connected. As soon as I saw him again, a flame was rekindled in me. He suggested that we meet, which I agree. Since then, we've been seeing each other, and by his side, I feel a sense of security, comfort, and peace that I haven't experienced in years. Meanwhile, my husband continues to abandon and ignore me, despite my incessant prayers and tears for him to change. I am tired, exhausted from fighting this fight alone, against a wall of indifference. So I find myself at a crossroads in my life. Should I continue to endure this suffering in a loveless marriage, or should I let myself go to this newfound happiness in the arms of the man who has always had my heart?
Coach Michelle, can you increase the volume a little bit?
Oh, hold on, give me one moment. But were you guys able to hear till, I don't know if it's my computer here.
At at the beginning it was loud, but I think it became faint after a while. I was even struggling to hear.
Okay.
Mm.
So I can tell you the, but before we to hold on. Oh my gosh, I forgot to send the link to someone. I'm doing that now. Oh, okay. Bef- Before we do that, I want to welcome JJ Tima. Hi, Jack. Hold on, let me remove
Hi,
this.
Michelle. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, it's so good to have you back here. Guys, for some of you who don't know Jacques JJ Chima, he is the I'm excited. I'm excited because we have an expert in the room today. Okay. So he's the author of this book, The Man Manifesto. And I recommend this book to everyone, especially men. You know, it's always better to be proactive in your marriage. Don't wait until you're in the verge of divorce before you try to do things to fix it. So the best time to start fixing your marriage is before rainy days. And in this book, JJ gives like practical advices to men on how to treat a woman. Isn't that wonderful, girls in the studio? Uh,
It is. Hi
yeah.
Thank you,
JJ.
Michelle. Thank
Welcome
you.
to the
Hi.
show.
Thank you, Michelle, for the introduction. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm so proud of you. You've been keeping up, with this program, which is really, really important for us because all of us really need to learn from each other. There's so much we can learn from each other. So sharing this information and coming, to talk to people that need help is really important. So thank you for, keeping up with it.
Okay, thank you. Luke also is here now. So, guys, like you said, maybe the story I did not. I don't know if it was my computer. So the story is that she got married against her will. She said she was seeing someone, everything was going wonderful, but because of tribe differences, a lot of us coming from Africa, I'm pretty sure you can relate to that. Because of tribe differences, her family decided to split them. Like her family did not agree to that relationship. She ended up marrying the person that her family has agreed to, and they both got married, but she said it's been 6 years of unhappiness. The husband travels a lot, he lives between two countries, is unfaithful to her. But what really breaks her is that every time she tried to complain, she is very distant. And every time she tried to complain, he tells her that he never liked her in the first place. That the only reason why he got with her was because of their family's arrangement. And now she said fate brought her back to her ex, with her ex. She went to a party and she met her ex, and they've been seeing each other. And she's like, now she feels alive. Now she feels all the love that she has not felt for the past 6 years. And she's like, the husband is showing no sign of changing. And now she's wondering, should I just go to this newfound happiness, or should I try to continue praying? Because she says she's been praying, she's been begging. Or should I just continue to pray and hope that things going to change for the best in my marriage? So before we get to that, I'm going to welcome someone else. Annie is here in the studio. Hi, Annie. Welcome.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
So Annie is she's a colleague. We used to work together, and the last time Annie that we chat, you were gonna be the deal or the DON in a new place. Are you still doing that?
I did, and I moved on to other things.
Okay. Well, it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
All right. So that's the story, guys. So that's the story. But we all know how strongly Elise and Phoebe feel about infidelity. But today, I don't want us too much to focus on that aspect. I want us to kind of focus on emotional unfulfillment that people experience in their relationship and marriages, because these are wounds that we don't see, that we don't talk about. So I'm going to start with you, CB. What are the impacts of emotional neglect in a marriage or in a relationship? Is CB here? All right.
Her mic is mute, so I don't know if she's talking or maybe
CB,
she's.
your mic is mute. I don't know if you can hear me.
Maybe she has network issues.
Okay, it looks like she's unmuted now.
Hi. Um. Okay, Ma. I didn't get the question.
Yeah, the
My
question was,
network.
what are the impact of emotional neglect in a relationship? Because, like I said, these are wounds that are not readily observable, and a lot of people go
Okay.
through this.
Okay. One of the impact is, at first, the person who is neglected will feel unwanted, unloved, and then sometimes they might even start cheating. Like we already heard that she's seeing her ex, but you said we shouldn't, focus on that part. And as Africans, we usually say that as long as there's no violence, people should, just stick with whatever they are getting from their partner, which is not okay, because in my opinion, emotional abuse is even worse, because when you're telling people this is what I'm going through, they'll be like, I don't think so. Everything looks fine from the outside. So it's only he who wears the shoes that know where it pinches them. That's even worse.
Thank you for saying that. And I want to make a little rectification. We can talk about the fact that she decided to start seeing someone else. But the thing is that she also mentioned that her husband has been cheating. That's why I'm like, let's not focus too much on the husband cheating. Okay. Let's focus on the fact that she has been emotionally neglected by her husband. And I like that you mentioned that, especially in Africa, they tend to like downplay those kind of suffering, right? Like, because apparently, especially if the man is like well off, they come to your place, you live in a beautiful house, you drive a beautiful car, you have it easy, and then you're complaining that you're not happy. People will tend to look at you like, what's wrong with you? So I'm gonna go on to Elise. What are your thoughts around this story?
Well, for me, I would say emotional neglect leads to disability, you know, because when a woman is breakdown or a man, they lose focus, they lose focus, they have a trauma, you know, and then they lose confidence in themselves. It affects their life. So when you are emotionally abused or neglected, you lose self-esteem, you have a difficulty identifying or expressing yourself, and you feel like the world is against you. When women, especially women, because it's very difficult to meet a man that is emotionally abused because they are the abusers most of the time. We have some mental health consequences. Some women live in anxiety. Most women live in depression. Most married women, they are enduring suffering, long suffering, because they don't know when the suffer will end. There are some women sitting and start praying. They become negative. They start praying, God kill my husband because the man is wicked. He doesn't understand anything. He's clueless about like when she talks about emotion, he feels like what is she talking about? Like he's not in the same room with her.
Mm,
So they become you notice that women that are emotionally abused, they tend to do more to win that affection. Some women will pray and kill themselves in fasting and praying for nothing. Some women will start overdoing things because they want to get the man's attention. If a man loves you, he loves you. If he does not love you, it doesn't matter what you will do, he will not love you. And there's also stress. Most women that are married to their enemies, they don't sleep at night. You'll see their pillows turn from white to brown. They'll be crying to bed, crying, waking up, pretending to tell the child, "Oh no, my eyes are paining me," or whatever. And they also have they lose confidence in themselves. You see her at work, she will start blaming everybody for her own problems, not knowing that she could not differentiate her workplace and her house. Some of them is also a hindrance for them to grow and for in their careers, in their personal life, even in relationships. They'll start jealousy young girls that are looking fly, smiling, happy, and blaming everybody for their own problems. So it has so many consequences that I won't advise anyone to be in a relationship where they are not needed or wanted or either respected. So yeah.
all right. Uh, JJ, I don't know. You heard the story. Like I said, you are an expert. You give practical advice to men on how to treat their woman. Here is a woman crying out of being like just she feels lonely in her marriage. She feels very lonely and she just doesn't know where to turn to. And she's asking, should I just continue to hope that things gonna get better or just maybe let myself go to this newfound happiness of reconnecting to my ex? So what are your thoughts? What are your impressions so far?
Thank you, Michelle. I feel really, really bad for this woman. I mean, the story is really a sad story, but unfortunately, it's the reality of a lot of couples, the reality of a lot of women. I did a podcast where I was talking about where the title was physically married, emotionally divorced, and sexually single, where I
Mm,
talked a little bit about something like this to say that it's really difficult to be in a relationship where emotionally you feel abandoned because love is about, I mean, relationship is about love. And when you talk about love, is emotions, right? And love is an emotion that need action. So now if you're married to someone, this woman, she's married to this man who is not paying attention to her, who is cheating on her. So it's really difficult to be in her shoes. So how can she deal with this emotional abandonment? For me, uh, there's really a lot she has to do because she has to find a way, to regain confidence on herself. Emotional abandonment, when some, make can create a lot of bad feelings on someone. Like, you like someone said, you know, you like, you don't you start to lack confidence on yourself. As a woman, you go to think, okay, what's wrong with me? Am I not beautiful? He doesn't like me. It is really a depressed state to be in. But if I had to speak to someone like that, my encouragement would be more to focus on yourself because relationship is about two people. But if one person is not involved, you really have to first find a way to build some type of mechanism that would allow you to continue to be first of all in that relationship, which would be if you believe in God, for example, keep your faith, right? Pray a lot, ask God to give you the courage to even to continue to be there uh, while you're trying to find a way, how to make things work. Because it's not easy to just pack your stuff and leave. As we can, based on the story, apparently she met her ex-boyfriend and reconnected, and she's having all this feeling back. Everybody is looking for love, right? So it's only having faith that would be for her. I mean, keeping faith in God would be one thing that she has to do, and try to reconnect with people that can bring some positive vibe in her life, maybe good friends, not necessarily cheating also to her husband because I don't think that's a a good thing to do. Um, but at the end of the day, what did she, how long she's going to stay in that relationship, right? How long is she going to be there? Because if you're not having, this affection from your husband, he's probably not paying attention to, you. He's not maybe taking care of you. How long are you going to stay in that relationship? But at the same time, it's not easy to just pack and leave. So I would say focus on, on your faith, trying to surround yourself. If she has a family, can rely on her family, to continue, that fight until the point where she would make a decision. Because I know in Africa there are a lot of women that are in marriage that they are not happy about. This, they are victim of all this abandonment, abuse, and all that, but they're still there. They can't leave because of many reasons that we know based on our culture. Uh, but I think we need to start encouraging. Life is about choice, right? At some point, you got to make a choice. Uh, So, and the choice would be either you leave or either you stay. If you stay, then you have to rebuild your self confidence, you know, creating, having faith, building your faith with, with God, surrounding yourself with people that will encourage you, that will, emotionally support you, during this journey if you don't want to leave that marriage. So that's my 2 cents for that.
All right. Thank you so much, JJ. Annie, let's hear from you, please. You're
Hi,
muted.
Michelle. So the question was, what are the impacts of
Oh,
emotional
yeah.
neglect?
What are your thoughts around like emotional unfulfillment, and what are the impacts?
Well, you can be fulfilled or unfulfilled in your marriage, right? But are you fulfilled in yourself? That's one thing you have to ask first, because if you are already an unfulfilled person, there's very little that your partner is going to do to make you feel more fulfilled. So this is why I always encourage people, you need to really know who you are before you get married. You can't go into a marriage dumping all your desires and your hopes on another person to meet them. The person is only supposed to help you through life, not carry everything on you. So there's a lot of impact when you're emotionally neglected, which is, poor boundaries, lack of trust for yourself, your partner, loss of intimacy. You can have all that as an impact, avoiding affection. But the other question too is the other partner aware of how this woman is feeling? Is she verbalizing? What is their communication like? Did they start their relationship able to have open, clear communication, which is another form of intimacy? Because when we look at intimacy, we always focus on the sexual part of it. But intimacy can also be openness, to allow your partner get into your mind to the point where before you finish your statement, they already know what you're gonna say. So did they have that kind of relationship to begin with? I strongly believe that we are in a generation of quick divorce. You marry out of your feelings and you get out of your feelings. This is why I am advocating for people not to marry because of how they feel. There should be a lot more that you see in each other. There's value, there's core beliefs and morals that you share as a couple that will make you want to embark on a union together. Not because you are in love and you feel good at the time, because love is fleeting, it comes and goes. So what is the partner's awareness of the situation? Is he aware that his wife feels this way? Have they communicated? Have they talked about it? And if they've done that, maybe therapy will help. What is going on in their relationship that is leading to one person to be feeling neglected? And the other thing I wanted to point out is there's a difference between neglect and abuse. For somebody to be emotionally abused, it's intentional. The intent has to be there. So I don't want us to go from saying emotional abuse. If there's no intent, then it's not abuse, right? It's just somebody doing something out of just that carelessness. They're not aware of how the other person, people are not aware of their partner. You have to live in a place where you're conscious about your household, what's going on in there, what's happening. You're aware if your wife is sad, or even your husband sometimes has a lot of problem that he's not bringing home to tell you because he wants to protect you, right? A man can lose his job and not tell you about it for months because he's quickly trying to cover, the track of you being worried and him not looking like your savior or your provider, because that's where purpose comes from a man, is from providing and, protecting his family. That's the love language of a man. Women are highly emotional. We are emotional beings. We operate with emotions. Some of us will get a divorce because we're not happy. But a man will stay in a loveless marriage for a long time because to him, he finds purpose in providing and protecting for his family. So there's a lot of impact, if it's gone too bad to the point where she's considering cheating, I think they should consider therapy, because you're going to cheat. Once a woman cheats, that means she's already checked out. A man can cheat and he has no emotion whatsoever to cheating, but he can sleep with anything and not feel anything. He'll still go back and even love on his family even more. But for a woman, when she starts cheating, that means it's over. She has thought about it. She's had some kind of emotional connection to that guy. Does that solve the problem for her? What if the new guy starts emotionally neglecting her? What is going to be the solution to that? So it has to do with clear boundaries. You need to establish what you're not going to tolerate in your relationship before you even go into it. Like, hey, before we get married, here are some things that I feel shows me that you don't love me anymore. You're not communicating, you're not paying attention to me, you're not being willing to talk about our problems. What are your conflict resolution? I think we don't talk enough about things that we need to talk about before we get married. We all want to be pressured into going into marriage because, we Africans, no matter the degree you have as a woman, if you're not married, you're still nothing. That's the way they view us. You have a PhD, but you're still not married, you don't have children. What is your purpose? When are you going to have children? Now you're married. When are you going to get married? After you're married is when are you going to have children? So pressure sometimes land us into the wrong relationships, the wrong partnership due to pressure. Now you've gone in there and everybody starts unfolding like an onion. You now realize that the man you're with is not able to meet your needs emotionally. It's also part of that. Is that partner able to meet your needs emotionally? What we may be calling emotional neglect may just be the inability of that person to fill her cup, right? Did she know that before? Did she spend enough time studying this person to see how he shows up when situation arise, when she needs affection and reassurance?
Annie, 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 excuse me. This is an arranged marriage. She didn't have time for that. They don't ask for her approval. They say arranged marriage, and the man told her several times that he never loved her, and he's not interested in this marriage, and she's just there because his family choose her for him. So it's not something that she
Okay.
had a choice or anything. No. She's
Okay.
already aware that she was not loved and it's a choice of the family. And the man boldly told her to her face for these 6 years that I don't love you. You are just here because of my family. That's all. So she's aware of everything.
Okay, so if it's an arranged marriage, then whatever she gets is what she gets, right?
So,
What did you go in there for? For money, for security? What are the reasons? So you need to
hold
come
on.
to terms with that. I didn't
That,
know it was an arranged marriage.
that is taking me to where I was gonna to my next question. But thank you, Miss Elise. But it's taking me to my next question. I was gonna ask the we all Africans and we know how important family is. Like Annie said earlier that it doesn't matter if you have a PhD, it doesn't matter what kind of car you drive. From Africa, you're not married, you don't have kids, you're like nothing. There's that pressure. What how important it is to like relate or rely on family when it comes to like choosing your own spouse, right? Because if it was up to her, she would have stayed with her ex, but now she decided to listen to her family. He also decided to listen to his family, even though I kind of doubt that a grown-up man will be impulsed who to marry. It's kind of difficult for me to fathom the idea, but what's the whole of the family? I want every one of us to kind of share, like, to what extent you allow your family to have a say in who you choose to end up with for a lifetime. So I'm gonna start with you, Miss Sibi. Let's go back to you. You said many times here how much you love your father and stuff like that. What
Michelle.
to yes.
I'm sorry too, but Luke did not have a chance to talk yet.
I'm
So
so sorry. Look,
I don't know if you can see him on your screen, but I think you should give
all
him
right.
a chance to
So
be the one to speak on this one.
yes, yes, it's yes. I can thank you so much for helping me with that one. Look, so let's go. Let's start with you. Let's start with you. When it comes to family, what extent would you allow them to influence your decision of choosing a partner?
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Gigi. It's been a while. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
We can
you.
hear you.
Okay, okay. First of all, I won't allow my family to choose for me who to marry. It's not possible because they're not going to stay with her forever. With me, I'm the only one that's going to stay with the person. So it's not that good. It's not good for family to choose who to marry. If you don't want me to marry the person I brought to you, then I better stay on my own. I better stay on my own. That's me. And secondly, I would like to drop a little comment on the impact of emotional neglect. I know everybody has dropped their own opinions, very, very nice opinions on JJ and Annie. We have very, very too much profound impacts on personal life, emotional neglect. Very many. We have emotional consequences. We have physical consequences. We have psychological consequences. The person has low self-esteem. Person who is neglected emotionally normally has low self-esteem. The person cannot have confidence on his or herself due to emotional neglect. And the person will only be doubting his or her ability due to emotional neglect. And also anxiety can also strip in. Anxiety. We have what they call PTSD too. PTSD can also come in post what they call post traumatic self disorder, something like that.
Mhm.
Can also come in if somebody has emotional neglect, and it's very very bad for relationship. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Luke. Luke is saying that he will never allow his family to make this the choice for him. Um, let's go back to you, CB. Would you allow, to what extent would you allow your family to influence who you choose as partner?
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, first of all, I'm going to start by saying for a very long time, I've had this conversation with my parents, and they agree that they are not going to make any choice for me. That whoever I bring home is who they will bless. That all they can only do for me is advise me. Okay, is this young man, is he working? Does he is he going to take care of you? Just going to pray and support me, but they are never going to make a choice for me. But on the other hand, if my parents have not told me that I'm free to make my choice, uh I don't think I will allow them to make that decision for me. You can't choose who I'm going to get married to, because I'm going to live with that man. And if I'm having issues tomorrow because of our culture and beliefs, they just believe that you should stay behind and work it out no matter what you're going through. Though my parents are not like that anyway. My mom will tell you, if you're no longer comfortable, the door is open for you to come back home. My father will tell you, I did not sell you. So if at any point in time you're no longer comfortable and it looks like your life is being threatened, you can always come back home. So nobody's going to choose who I'm going to get married to. Like I said, nobody's going to choose. I'll make that decision for myself. All
Okay.
my
This
parents or family need to do is
there's a
support me and
comment.
pray for me.
There's a comment there, and it's that's AJ said all family choices are not bad. Now, some family will be like, okay, you got to choose, but you have to choose from this tribe, right?
Okay,
You
in my case, yeah, in my case, my parents are from different tribes, so tribalism is off the table.
good. Okay, it's good to hear. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, my parents don't really care where the person comes from. All they are concerned is he a good man? Is he from a good family? Will you be well taken care of? That's all they want to know. They don't care if he's from the north, south, east, even if he's even if he's even if he's not African, they don't care. As long as the person is good and I'm happy, they prioritize my happiness. So I'm good to go.
All right. Thank you. So, Comfort said some arranged marriage end well. Okay. I see Annie shaking her head. Okay, tell us, Miss Annie, to what extent would you allow your family to have a say in who you choose?
I personally, my family can choose for me, but that doesn't mean that your family cannot make an introduction, right? Because even your friends can introduce you to your future spouse. So, not that I'm all for them forcing somebody on me, but I'm open to considering a mate, because sometimes your own mother and father may know you better than you think you know yourself, right? So, and they are well-meaning, if they are well-meaning individuals, I think it believes sorry, it depends on the family you're coming from. You have to know the dynamic of your own family, if they genuinely love you or they just want to marry you off. Because if we look at the Indians, they do a lot of arranged marriages.
They
And
only do arranged marriages.
yeah. Well, then some of them do, some of them don't, but majority of them are successful, right? And I've had a friend that married his wife based on arrangement because he tried it on his own. It wasn't working, and the family introduced. And I was like, "How did that go?" He said they just introduced us and encouraged us to go on couple of dates and to see if we like each other, if it's a go. And for them, it was a go. They have 3 children now. They're very happy. So it's not always a bad thing, but the where I don't condone it is when it's forced. Somebody can introduce you and you explore, and it may turn out to be good. Even when we go on match.com and all those dating websites, somebody is trying to match you based on your preferences. Your families can do that for you as well. But knowing my family dynamic, I'm not going to take their advice on, because I haven't lived with them for a long time. I've been on my own like a lone ranger. Now you want to tell me, but I can take consideration as per going on dates to see if it's a fit. I don't believe in forced arrangements. I believe in aiding. Your friends can aid you to date. Hey, I met a guy that I think is lovely for you. Why don't you just go on a date and see how it goes? And you never know, right? So just be open-minded to suggestions.
All right, thank you. Miss Elise, we're gonna hear from you. But before you go, I'm gonna tell you, Miss Elise, that maybe you don't know this, you're popular in my house because I remember one of the tribute that you gave to your dad when we came to the funeral. May his gentle soul rest in peace. You said that Daddy always told me that if a man does open the door for me, delay it. Daddy always told me that if a man like hides information from me, such as how much he makes, delay it. And you went on, and it was beautiful. Let's hear from you, Elise. To what extent you allow your family to influence that decision for you?
Oh, thank you so much. You make me so emotional for just 1 minute. Oh yeah, I'm a daddy's daughter. I will allow my parents to say okay to my relationship. I will see a man that likes me. I will not love him. I will not have any emotions for him until my parents say yes. That's why people love blindly and then go into nonsense and call it love. Love is a decision that is taken after a period of observation. I repeat, love is a decision, not a feeling. Feelings is not love, because love is sacrificial. You become a living sacrifice. You love someone even at their most, I mean, at their worst time. That's when you show love, because Christ on the cross, after being crucified and everything, he said, God forgive them. That was love. That was liquid love. So when you meet someone, study them, know their bad side, their good side, then try to see if you can love, if you can support that bad side, that part that you think that, this thing, can I work with it? And for me, I'll take you to my parents. My mom has to approve you, my dad has to approve you. If you are not approved, you are deleted immediately. I'm not, because they are my gods on earth. They are my physical parents. They know what is best for me. And a parent will observe a partner in few minutes and tell you, except you have witchcraft as parents. But if you have good parents that want your best, that want you to explore, that want to see you happy, not enduring in somebody's hardship, they'll tell you, the way we look at this thing, give us time to pray. By the time they pray and tell you that God said this is not your husband, my sister, run. Run. When you're running, don't look back. It doesn't matter the gifts or the position of or the looks of the man or the way he speaks English or the way he formulates his phrases or the charisma and everything. Run. Because many have gone into marriages that parents said no to. And today they regret. Had I known. My dad was right. Oh, my mom was right. Me, my life, I don't have second life. I have one life. I don't want to enter one chance. So when I wanted to get married, I had many sweetos, fine girl like me, sweetos, full ground. But I'll take you to my daddy. I'll go on a date. I'll have my dad be in that room where I'm going to, in that restaurant. He will arrive before us. Then I'll make sure that we take a table close to him. You don't know my dad is behind us. We'll just be discussing everything, everything. The way you take it, the way you react, the way everything. My dad will tell me, this one, forget about him. He said, delete that number. Or have a conversation with you. I'll come out to that, daddy. This man, see what he's saying. What do you think about it on a man perspective, on a spiritual perspective? He said, this man is not godly. And let me remind to women, when you marry an ungodly man, he will cheat on you. He will lie on you. He will play tricks on you. So it depends on how well you want to suffer, because you choose your sufferings and endurance from the beginning of the relationship. If you want a man to change before you marry him, see him change before marrying him. If you go to your parents and tell you, oh, this is what we have noticed, don't argue with them. Go into the root of the issue. They say root cause analysis. Make that you make those investigation. We heard this. Make those investigation to make sure that your parents are not wrong. Prove them wrong. The Bible says, honor your father and your mother so that your life on earth will be long, And let me tell you about something. You both know God, right? He decided that man was alone. He made him a woman. He choose and say, okay. When a man saw Eve, he said, this is the flesh of my flesh. But you both, guess what? When Eve gave him the fruit and God asked him what happened, he said, it's the woman that you gave me. So from that moment, God said, who he that find a wife. So you have to find a partner yourself. God is not in the business of finding people for you. So even when you find a partner, the will of God can use his servant, a pastor, a parent, a friend to tell you that, I will know you're in love, but there's a danger ahead. Be careful, watch out. You say no, you don't want to watch out. You will suffer it. So for me, parents have a say. They have a say in your marriage. Now it's up to you to analyze it and see or convince them that the person is not what they think they are, or just show them result, but don't force yourself into getting married without your parent blessing. If you are a Christian, God is a God that answers prayers. That's what I always say. If there's a man to pray, there's a God to answer. We don't serve a useless God that cannot answer our prayers. If you are serving God, he doesn't answer your prayer, then you have to review your ways, or you have to review your desires towards the things you want. Because sometimes an unanswered prayer is an answer. God don't want you to have it. Move backward. Take 4 steps backward and look for, if you're going north, go south, because God don't want you to go north. Obviously, He's not answering you. So I think that every child in those days, when a man say, I've seen a woman there, before his parents will even follow him, they will go and do investigation. They will do thorough investigation. In those days, so they didn't have internet, they didn't have anything, but they will send somebody, even if they have to travel for days to go and check in that village. How they ask the neighbors, ask everything. Today's generation, we are wiser than our grandparents. We know it all. We don't investigate. A man just tell you I love you, you too, you love him. You don't know where he's coming from. People have traditions. Imagine you fall in love with a man that every third child needs to be sacrificed to their God. You're not aware of it because you love him. You have not checked. Maybe his mother is a witchcraft eating all the great children. Maybe in their life, in their lineage, when they reach 40, they become drunkards. You don't know that because you don't want to investigate. Oh no, I love him. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. Even if the family is bad, it's not him. My sister, do you know what generational curse is? It goes from generation to generation. He may be okay, but his grandfather has find something that will be following him. So investigate and let your parents approve. I did not say they may not choose your partner, but when you bring the partner, give them time to know where you're going to, and let them be happily in that marriage when they're dancing and everything. Let them be at peace that where you're going to, you will not come back with sorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Elise. Uh, JJ, I'm not gonna ask you like to what extent you've been married for so many years. So I will ask you as the expert. You have four beautiful children yourself. You have a
Thank
grown-up
you.
daughter. What would be your advice to like young people when they're ready to tie the knot? Like, to what extent should they listen to their parents, or how should they go about it so that they don't suffer too much down the road of regret, as we can see today?
Yeah, thank you for that question. And great points that a lot of people already made good points. What I want to say is that, like I usually tell people, a relationship is a two people affair, not three. All right. So when I mean two, it means that anybody else is considered third party.
Mhm.
Parents are third party. But also, there's another thing that we have to, remember. Love can come to us different ways in different forms, right? So, I think Annie said, you have to be open-minded, all right? So it really depends on your family situation, how the relationship that you have with your family, how you interact with them, if you trust them, if there's love, if you consider taking consideration, what they say to you. But the most important thing for me, I think, is that at the end, you have to be the one that really make that decision, right? Even if the family introduce you to the person, they made the choice for you. Uh, like back in the days, our parents, a lot of them had arranged marriages. So, and some of them worked, some did not work. So, we just have to be open-minded. But at the end of the day, um, have that conversation with your family. You know your family. You know the circumstances. It's up to you to, really decide if you're gonna consider what they say or not. All right, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to be with that person, right? And for us men, uh, you want to feel that you're the one making that decision. Maybe your father introduced you to the lady, but you got to do your own part to make sure that you're actually okay with that choice. Uh, Personally, I've been with my wife for 30 years, and we started, you know, in high school. Our family played big role in our relationship because when we were in high school, of course, we were living with our parents, right? I would go to their house. She would come to our house. And when I went to university, we got separated for like 4 years. My wife would go spend some time with my mother, right? So it's really a case by case scenario. But don't be close minded. Be open minded because love can come, different way. You- Maybe the choice that your parents are making is a good choice for you. All right. Like Annie said, they know you better, for example, right? Even though at the end of the day, we want to feel like we're the one making that choice. But if somebody is giving their input to that, listen to it, right? Because you never know. Maybe that's where that input will help you make a good decision. But I'm not into, and apology to our parents if they're listening. I'm not into forced marriage, right? It was unfortunate in the past where, even to today, where some people are forced to marry, to get into a marriage that they don't want, like the story that that brought us here today of this woman that's married to her husband, I mean, he said it was an arranged marriage. Now the man is telling her every day, "I don't want you. I don't like." It's unfortunate that we still having having people in those situations, but um, it's just what it is. However, if you have the freedom to make a choice, make your choice because you're going to be the one living with the consequences and the good things that come out of it. Right. So that's all I can say.
Thank you so much. So now let's go ahead and give some practical advices to our lady. Here she is. Someone asked in the comment if she has any kids. She said they have one child. And because the husband is always absent, she is left to care for that child. Um, let's give her some practical advice. Let's assume all of us here that that's your sister. She's going through that. What would you tell her that she does? I remember JJ said that she needs to find a way to like maybe work on herself and not necessarily leave her marriage. And I also know Annie said that if she fulfill herself, that kind of goes maybe in the same direction that maybe she should kind of turn her gaze onto herself and start like going to work on herself, and maybe that's gonna improve things. But what would you practically tell her to do? Like give her two or three advices that she can do to maybe better her situation. I'm gonna start with you, Luke.
I have a question before you go forward. Is she working?
She doesn't say.
Okay.
All right, Luke, go ahead.
Okay, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, you said if she was my sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I would tell her to do, first of all, she will I advise her to go for therapy, maybe counseling. She
Do you
has
know how many?
to.
Do you know how many African men will agree to go to counseling? Just asking. Keep going.
My sister, I'm saying my sister.
Or she should go, not him. Okay.
Yes, she
Okay.
herself because she's the one facing the emotional neglect. So she should go for counseling and she should work on herself. They'll give her advice there, and also she do some therapy on herself, read books. She's a Christian. She'll pray and ask God. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hello?
Sorry, someone is trying to call me. Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
I think she should go for therapy, seek counseling, then pray also. We can't leave prayer out of it. Since she's a Christian, we can't leave prayer out of it. She was forced into something she didn't want to do, and she's now facing the consequences. So she has to go back. But I won't advise her to divorce. I won't advise her to divorce. But if she wants to, she can divorce. And also, she can also seek for supportive relationship. That is, uh, find people who love her more, that she can from there love herself more. I think that what I would talk to her about. Take the rest.
All right. So Luke said therapy, praying, finding some support, a support system. Let's go with you, CB. What are your advices to our lady?
Okay, this lady right here, she has made us understand that the guy doesn't love her, and every day he keeps repeating it. I don't love you. I'm just in this marriage because of my family, the arrangements and stuff like that. So to me, this marriage is already a failure. No amount of counseling or therapy is going to fix it, because the guy has already made it clear that he doesn't love her. Why is she staying in a loveless marriage? When look, I don't. Personally, I'm not going to wait for a man to tell me that he doesn't want me before I clog out, because your actions will already show that you don't want me. You start by neglecting you emotionally. She mentioned that he has not touched her. That's a sign that he doesn't like her. I'm sorry, he doesn't love her. So why are you in a loveless marriage? Just end it already, because first of all, you're already cheating. He's cheating, you're cheating. So you guys are the marriage, in my opinion, is has already hit the rocks. There's no coming back from that. There's no amount of counseling or prayer that's going to revive that marriage. That marriage is gone. Because even God said, um that a man should love his wife just as Jesus Christ loved the church. So, I mean, if there's no love, what is going on? I thought marriage was supposed to be about love. I know that love is not enough, but in this case, for him to be waking up every morning and telling her, "Oh, I don't love you anymore," there's something wrong somewhere. You can see that they were both forced into the marriage and it didn't work out. So why are we forcing them to stay together? These are the kind of people that end up raising damaged kids. Kids can see these things. Kids can feel the vibe. They know when something is off. It doesn't matter if the kids are actually speaking out, or okay, in this case she has just one child. This is not the generation where you say a child of 5 years doesn't know what is going on. Now 2 years old can actually sense negative vibes. And now these children will this child will grow up and be thinking that the loveless marriage that his or her parents are in right now, it's a very normal thing, which is not normal, please. I, I personally wouldn't stay in a relationship where a guy tells me, you know what, I don't think this is working anymore. In fact, your attitude, your actions towards me alone, I can tell how you're feeling about me, because people treat you exactly how they feel about you. What kind of prayer does she want to pray that will revive the love that he never had in the first place? Let's start. Because if there was love at the beginning and they're having issues now, I might just say, okay, prayer and therapy will work. But there was no love. So where are they going to start from? They lived together for what? Is it 6 years or so? And then the
Mhm.
love did not, there was no love, there was no spark, nothing happened. So where is the miracle coming from? Sometimes we need to make our decisions by ourselves. I don't To me, she has low self-esteem. She has to work on that, just like Mr. JJ said earlier on. She should work on herself, because how can someone tell you, wake up every day and tell you, I do not love you, and then you're saying you are confused, you don't know? No, auntie, you know what to do. you just you are living in denial, and probably you're trying to please your family by staying. And that right there is the problem, because it will get to a stage whereby she can even get pregnant for this other guy that she's cheating with. And the reason why she feels like there's a spark between she and her ex person she's cheating with right now, is because she has been neglected emotionally. There might be no spark, it might just be lost. And this ex that she's hanging out with might just be even worse than the person she got married to. So she has to be careful. She thinks she's in love. She's not in love with the ex. There's no spark there. That's my opinion. I mean, auntie,
Thank
come
you
out
for
of this
saying
marriage.
that.
It's not worth it.
You know what? Studies have shown that second marriages have higher failure rate than first time marriage, right? And I've always think that maybe the reason is because we leave our first marriage without maybe taking enough time to reflect on ourselves. Could it be that maybe she didn't serve this marriage well in the beginning? Because she said that her heart has always belonged to her ex. Because I still don't comprehend that a man will marry against his will. So I want to believe that there was
Coach Michelle,
I,
actually, there are men who marry against their will. Oh.
I don't
There
know.
are lots of
I
them out
just
there.
want to give this man some benefits of doubt that maybe at the beginning of the relationship he wanted to be in that relationship until maybe he realized that what his needs wasn't being fulfilled, and maybe that's what caused the change. We don't know that, but only her knows, because that's what I'm like. Maybe she should also take the time to look and reflect on herself and see if she has done well by that marriage since the beginning. Because it would be a mistake, like you said, she think that she's in love with her ex. It would be a mistake to carry the same pattern into her next relationship and see herself repeating it over and over again. So, but I'm not gonna dwell too much on this, because I think Miss Elise, you haven't spoken yet. What would be your practical advices to her?
Well, I think this woman needs deliverance. I don't think she's okay in her brain because
Deliverance.
she's complaining of a cheating husband and she's cheating with somebody else's husband. I don't know. Some women are foolish. You're looking for love and you're looking in the wrong places. So you are blaming your husband for being a cheater, but you are with a professional cheater, and you think that that cheater is in love with you. That is madness. This is where madness, the word madness, has its place, because you don't want something, you're looking for love, but you are being used. Because there's no normal man that will sleep with a married woman and after marry that woman. No normal man. No normal man will do that. He will just use her and dump her. So the love she's looking for, she should first put it, redirect herself to go for memory check. They have to check her brain, her mental capability, because there are people that have brain, they don't use it. Because she does not love herself, she doesn't know what is love, she doesn't even know what is choice. Because in Africa, arranged marriages are for rich families. Means she's from a rich home, I will assume, because poor people don't have time, they don't even have food, talk less of arranging marriage, because they have nothing to arrange for, nothing to lose. The rich people, they want the business, they want the family, they want everything to keep going. Those are okay. Let me assume she's from a rich home, but she's foolish. If they force you into a marriage, it's for you to make it work. She was never married because, as you said, her heart was somewhere else. So she did not even make an effort to make that arranged marriage work. I would say it's her fault, without even listening to the man, without even listening to what the man did to say, I don't love you. For a woman to make a man that marry her, that said, I do, to open his mouth and say, I don't love you anymore, means that woman is useless. She's not a good woman. Because when a woman does not love a man, she cannot sacrifice, she cannot make effort, she cannot do anything. She's just there, but she's not there. So if a man, when you love a man, he knows. When you don't love him, he knows you're elsewhere. There's some men that they will not leave, they will not divorce you. They will keep you at home and mistreat you. You yourself, you wake up one day and pack your load or ask for divorce. So this woman, she's not herself. And she has been suffering this man. Maybe she's even the reason why this man went outside. I'm sorry. Because for her to say she's married to somebody, but her mind is somewhere else, means that man even suffer a while in her hands and he decided to say, okay, as you want to do me, I might look for happiness somewhere else. Yeah, because some women, they're in marriages, that the reason why their marriages fail, and after they blame the man. But when the man was just reacting to her actions. So as a woman, I think she has to review, she has to cut off the relationship she's having outside, work on her character, because she has no value, she has no substance. What she's running away from, she's embracing it in one way. I don't like this, but I like it. I'm in love with it, in love with evil. That woman, she's not well. I promise you guys. She's mentally unstable. So she has to work on herself, review her character. As Brother Luke said, she has to go for mental checkup. She needs therapy. Somebody to tell her, sit her down and say, my sister, you're mad, oh. You're not normal, oh. This thing you're doing is not good, oh. And most African people, we don't know how to tell each other the truth. We just say, it's her choice, it's her lifestyle. If that makes her happy, no, stop the madness. You can't be married and cheating. If you don't love the man, divorce him properly and move on. And let me tell all these married women that refuse to work on their marriages and want to go out and be sleeping with people's husband, you will never be loved. You will never be respected. You will just be user. You know how they say use and drop, like toilet paper. That's all they will do to you. Take care of your home. Even if it's an arranged marriage, so what? I say love is a decision. You can decide to love somebody. You don't say feeling. What is feelings? Are you both serious? What is feelings? Love is a decision. She has not decided to be married. She can't decide to build marriage. She can't decide to be a good wife. She can't decide anything. She's just there, useless in the somebody's son's life and making her parents' effort, look bad. Because these parents, I don't see any parent that will take you into a back home to say, go and marry this man that will be beating you every day. No. All those arranged marriage, sometimes they do it from a good way. They say, this one, they will work it together. They will do, and family is always there. If there's problem, go to a family meeting, go to meet his mother. Say, Mama, see how. She will advise you. If it doesn't work, go to your mother. Say, hey, Mama, how, like this, like this. They will advise you because they are the one that put you guys together. So they must be there to solve problems. You just take everything into your hand. You become a shell of the city. My husband is a cheat. Me too. I'm sleeping with a cheater,
Thank
and
you,
I'm
Miss.
happy. I'm in love. No, 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 no. She's not right. I beg.
Thank you, and I like that you said family arranged this marriage, and I'm pretty sure they can also help. So, and she doesn't mention going to family. This is a good advice, and I really hope she takes it. Let's hear from you, Miss Annie. What would you tell our dear lady?
First thing is she's cheating. She said she doesn't love she never loved the guy. And I think at some point maybe the guy found out that she didn't love him. And I don't know. I can't really dissect the situation because I'm not in it. I don't know his point totally. But for you to not love somebody and then you're cheating, it means she has a sense of entitlement, which a lot of women suffer from this. A lot of women have a sense of entitlement. They go into a marriage feeling like the marriage is all about them. A marriage should fulfill them. A marriage should take care of them. It should pay their bills. The things they can't even do for themselves, they feel like a husband should do it for them. And that's not how marriage works. True marriage is about coming together and being better together, being a dynamic duo, and everybody's needs are being met. If the guy is telling you that he doesn't love you, maybe go away for a year. Suggest counseling. If he goes to counseling and therapy and he's still telling the counselor and the therapist that, listen, I do not love her, I don't see a way forward, there's nothing that can be resolved here, then be co-parents and get a divorce. Get a divorce and co-parent your child, because if both of you are willing to make it work, then there can be a resolution. But if both parties are not willing to make it work, one person's effort is just going to be wasted, right? So fasting, praying, and all that stuff, I personally believe that God can only bless what you give him. If you don't give God something to work with, he has nothing to work with. So you can pray and fast. If somebody is not willing to change their attitude and their beliefs, and especially your own attitude, you need to always be accountable for how you're showing up in your marriage. That's the number one thing. You cannot be somebody who is not willing to self-assess and then you want a successful relationship. You always have to take accountability for the role that you play in any situation, in your own life and then into your marriage. Not everybody is cut out to be married. And I believe that as a woman, you need to have, even as a man, men, they reach a level of success later in life than women. A man is absolutely not even useful to you till he's in his later 30s. That's when he starts to come into his own. He's ready to provide and protect. Women, beauty and age works for us. So from 17 to 28, a woman is at her peak. So a lot of people like to marry them off at that age. But do you even know who you are? Do you know what your purpose is? Do you know what your preferences are as a woman? So I believe people should go on a self-discovery journey before you invite somebody else into your life. But this situation, I would say seek counseling if they want. If the guy is still telling the counselor and the therapist there's no resolution, then get a divorce. Because there are children involved or a child involved and they become the victim of this behavior, and whatever they see being mirrored to them, that's what they believe that relationship is. The transaction they see between their parents is what they carry on in life, believing that's how relationships are. This is how my father treated my mother. This is what my mother did. So in their mind, that is what marriage is. So we always want to create a healthy environment because we're being a mirror for them. So that's just my take on it.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Miss Annie.
you.
And he said, go to the therapist. And if he keeps saying that he doesn't want that marriage, well, there's nothing. You cannot force someone to be with you if they don't want to. And I would say that, like, from what I see around me, most African men do not agree to therapy. That's why mental illness goes undetected for so long in Africa, because it's just something that doesn't align with our belief system. But I think that most African men have a lot of reverence for family. So even if he doesn't want to go to counseling, maybe getting like a family member that he respects, you know, a respectable family member to maybe come and sit both of you down and talk some senses into both of you and hopefully get to an agreement. That's something that you can try if therapy doesn't work. We're going to conclude with JJ. Go ahead, JJ, and tell us, give our lady some practical advices to hopefully get her to closure.
Thank you. Well, a lot of good points have been made. So, what I want to add is that first thing to know is that it takes two people to make a relationship work, just like it takes two people, to break it. So everybody's accountable for something in a relationship. You cannot just point the finger. Now, to narrow down to this scenario that we have where, we all know this was an arranged marriage. The woman was not feeling the guy. Now the guy's saying every day, I don't like you. You're not, I don't want to be married to you. Um, I mean, this marriage is already messed up completely, but uh, it doesn't mean it cannot be fixed, right? Um, when there is a will, there's a way. For me, I would think instead of just advising the woman, both of them need to be held accountable for what's going on. And because in a relationship, everybody has a role to play. And I always point the finger to men when it comes to relationship because God assigned us the role to be the leader of the household. It means we need to show the way so that the woman can follow. If you got into this arranged marriage and they've been together for 7 years, they even have a child, and at this point of time, you telling the woman, I don't like you, I don't want to be with you, you don't touch her, you don't do anything, I think that's absolutely wrong. Because if in the first 2 years he knew that you cannot stay with her, it was better to go back to the family and say, I don't think this is going to work. Right? Everybody deserves a chance to experience love. This is a waste of time. He had wasted her time. Right? She's not, he's to blame just like she's to blame. Right? But he has wasted her time. He could have gone back a long time ago to the family and said, unfortunately, I cannot do this. We know in Africa, we don't have counseling, right? We don't have, professional counsel. We don't even believe in that. Like here, in America or in Europe, where you can actually go to counseling. And as you said, Michelle, a lot of men don't like to go to counseling. African, for
Mhm.
sure, that's true. But for me, I think I will put the blame here, the big blame to the man because he was not supposed to keep her for this long. She's now desperate and going back to her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. Every woman needs love. And we men, we need to start to understand that when you get a woman, you need to do the right thing by your woman. Don't waste your time. Even if it's a forced marriage, go back and say, I cannot do this. So that's what I will add. A lot of good points were mentioned already, so I don't want to, repeat those.
Okay.
But to close, I want to say, men, we need to take our responsibility seriously. Uh, God assigned assigned us the role to lead, and our women are supposed to follow us. If you take care of a woman, you show her the way, you love her, she would follow you. They are naturally made. Women are designed to follow the right man, to follow the man they love. So it's up to us to show them the way. If you don't like if you don't like a woman, please don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. I think that's unfair because they have a role to play by our side, and women are always looking for that man where they're going to be by them, that man that they're going to be next to and play the role they want to play. And women are more mature than us. I mean, they mature than us quickly, so they understand the marriage and relationship, better than us. For us men, it takes us time to actually get to a point where we feel comfortable because we have to deal with we have to build ourselves to get to a point where we can feel like we can play the role of providing, protecting our family. So this is a situation that's really unfortunate. But if you're in this kind of situation, I would say if you're a man and in this kind of situation, you deal with this, you're in this kind of marriage, you acting like this in the marriage, you have a woman that that you don't care about, you live with her, but you abandon her, you don't take care of her. Please free her up. Don't. She's not your slave. Don't go out there and do your own thing. Come back home while she's taking care of the kid. All right. So
Thank you.
hopefully, no good. I'm good.
Thank you.
No problem.
Were you going to add something else?
No, that's fine. I think we already.
Oh, yeah. Annie said earlier that in order to call it emotional abuse, it has to be intentionally inflicted, because sometimes it's just out of ignorance that people do stuff. And it always baffles my mind, like when I talk to people, even like young couple in the community here, seldomly do you ever hear a woman tell you that I'm happy. And And these are people that sometimes when you see them out and about, you are envy. You envy and you're like, oh wow, look at that cute couple. But the moment you sit to talk, especially with lady, men don't, I don't know if it's custom to men, but they oftentimes don't share their feelings. But most time when I talk with women, I can tell you like out of 10 women that married women that I have spoken with, 9 out of 10 will tell me that this is going on, that's going on, and that is making me unhappy. Now, leaving is not an option, especially us in our African culture. Even when she's telling you, she's not telling you in the sense that I'm going to leave. She's just telling you how unhappy she is. So, this is an issue that we don't usually talk about, but a lot of people suffer through this. Like those people that you envy, that you can call happily married, they just don't feel that emotional fulfillment in that relationship. But they have to continue just for the sake of, I'm married, I am Mrs. Such and such, or this and this. And that makes it really hard. But she also said something, Annie also said something. Are you fulfilled in your own? Because at the end of the day, I also think that it is not anyone's responsibility to make you happy. You are responsible for your own happiness. Right now, I'm not saying that the man should just check out. No, men, like JJ said, this man is to blame, because we women, it's not our responsibility to do the loving. Like even God did not entrust us with the responsibility to love our husband. He said, woman, respect your husband. Man, love your wife. Someone said in a comment earlier that this is why I always tell women that let your man love you more. Don't be the one who does the loving in that relationship. Allow that man to love you. And I think someone that was Karen, she commented that. She heard that in a comment. So it's not our responsibility to love our husband. Now we are loving people. The reason why God did not give us that responsibility is because it's something that comes to us naturally. That's why he entrusted men, because it's kind of maybe more difficult for men to do it. So at the end of the day, man has to do the loving and we do the respecting, because he knows we're going to love that man anyway. So yes, at the end of the day, I'm going to say to anyone who's going through this, that anyone who has been married for a while and who is like emotionally unhappy, that maybe you should start working more on your unhappiness. Maybe you should kind of like remove that responsibility from your husband, because you and I know that you don't want to leave that marriage. So you need to find something that works for you. And one thing that I know can help is you starting working on your own happiness. Because it can make you happy. No one can make you happy. God can make you happy. You can make yourself happy. And I hope that men listening today, you have learned one or two things that can maybe help you to do better by that woman. All right. So guys, I'm going to stop the live here. But if anyone has anything else to add, please feel free.
Yeah, for me, I wanted to say that this marriage cannot be arranged. Once people cheat, the marriage is over. That's it. For me, there's no arrangement here. They should go separate ways so that she can go and find her happiness wherever it is and the man continue his life. Because there are some people that are into family ties that they don't, as men, as you said, most African women, they just want to be married, but they're not really happy. Why? When you die alone. You are born, you're born alone. Why do you want to stay with a man that does not, that is willingly hating you and not loving you? But you are in that marriage. I don't know what's wrong with some women. She move on. Don't wait for 6 years. Don't wait for 1 year. The same week you will notice that something is wrong. Sit the person down and say, "Babe," the problem is that people, African couples don't communicate. They don't like having difficult conversations. Somebody will not be open to say, "Hey, babe, you're adding weight, lose weight." Or, "Babe, the way you serve me like a slave. I want to be served as a king." Tell your wife what you expect from her. Let her tell you what you expect from you, what she expects from you, and that's how marriage works. People don't. Okay, there's some women that will tell you, Coach Michelle, they will tell you the problem, but they cannot sit their husband down and discuss with them. There are some people that will spend 24 hours a day. They don't have 30 minutes or 15 minutes to discuss face to face with their partner. They are just talking as if they are roommates. They're talking as if they force both of them to be married. No. If you cannot have difficult conversations, serious conversation, okay, baby, in the other room, you are very weak. What about going to the gym and squatting to do better? What about cooking better? Your food, there's always something. There's not enough garlic. Your food looks like water. Baby, do some improvement. Okay, my husband, you're becoming fat now. You to lose weight. Don't have those difficult conversations so that you one another correcting one another so that things will work. People should stop being fake in their own lives. You have one life to live. Be real with yourself and also work on yourself because there are some men you will marry a woman after 10 years, she's still where she met her 10 years ago. No improvement. He has improved. His career is advanced. The woman is there turning pot. Turning pot is not a job. A man also wants to be happy to say, my wife has achieved this, my wife has achieved that. But if you don't want to do it for yourself, you feel like you don't need to. At the moment, you aspire. Because there's no continuous development, continuous improvement, the man will be like you are dragging him behind. The same thing for the woman. So partners are people that you say you become one. He encourages you, make some effort. Some women don't like correction. That's why some men don't talk to them anymore. He say one thing, she will be boning him for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Are you mad? If he does not correct you, who will correct you? Take the correction and change your character. That's all. So I believe that people should start talking not to outsiders, but to their personal partners at home. Baby, this one is disturbing me. Explain to me what is going on. What is making you behave this way? How can you work on this? Honest conversation. They are difficult. They are sometimes shaming. Oh, my husband, after eating fufu at night, you don't brush your teeth and you want to kiss me. I don't like it. Brush your teeth. Cut your hair. There are some men that don't cut hair. They leave their hair in the armpit as if they are gorillas. Women will not like it. They will not talk about it. Be open. And you too, as a man, it's not because you're a man that your wife will not correct you. She knows you better than your mother. If she tell you, baby, this is something that is disturbing me, and you love her, make an effort. Make an effort towards changing. They say only fools don't change. So anybody can change. And if you're not ready to change, please divorce. Don't marry because change is the only thing that is not constant. Every day will change. When you were a little boy, jollof rice was your favorite food. Now that you're in your 50, you don't like jollof rice anymore. You have another favorite food. So things changes, and we have to adapt with every change, and work with our partner hand in hand so that things will work. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Elise. Anyone else has anything to add? If not, we're gonna call it a day.
Hi,
Yes.
Michelle. I just wanted to say that I have a show on YouTube. It's called Truth Hurts. We talk about stuff like this, just
Okay.
like what Miss Elise was saying. I personally don't believe that once you cheat, your relationship is over. I don't believe that at all. Because you know where we are now, especially if we're people of faith, we need to try to preserve families. In the West, we're so quick to divorce, and the children are the ones that suffer. So we always have to find a common ground, right? If you look at the way men are designed, most of them will say they're polygamous by nature. And the way we women, we're two different beings and we come together to try to make it work. In talking about being somebody of faith, you cannot just say once you cheat your marriage is over. We always have to forgive. and see where we're falling short in our relationships, where needs are not being met. Granted, there are people who just cheat because they can get away with it. I always say, if your man is not afraid to lose you in your relationship, then something is wrong. If he's not afraid of losing his family, then something must be seriously wrong. But people do have shortcomings, right? And the one thing we need to get as women is men view cheating differently than we do. We just have to come to terms with that as women, because if you don't get that, it took me, I'm in my 40s now, and it only took me like 3 months ago to wrap my head around that a man can cheat and still love his wife and still provide for her and still be a defender and a protector of his home.
No,
So
that's not true. I mean, that's not true.
no.
That's not true. That's
Anyway,
not true.
maybe another show for
I
Michelle.
don't. I know
When
tradition.
you're
I know
cheating, your family is already in danger. There's no protection there.
No,
So I disagree with you, ma.
danger. I'm not saying that he's not in danger, but I'm telling you that
Annie,
women
if a
and
man
men are
loves you, he
wired
will not cheat
differently.
on you. If you want to be an
I don't
option,
believe that. I don't
then
believe
that's
that.
a choice. But a
I'm a
man that
divorcee,
loves
so
you
I will
will
tell
not cheat
you
on
I
you.
don't believe that. Anyway, Michelle, I'll leave it to another topic or
Yeah,
another day.
that's a topic for another day. Well,
Women thinking this way are the women that are supporting the behavior of men to cheat on women and put the women's lives at risk, because there are some women that accept that you. Wait a minute, let me ask you a question. 1 second, I have a question to ask. Does the devil only tempt men and not tempt women? No, the answer is no. The devil can use women. Let me tell you something. Prostitution is the oldest job, and those who are doing it were women. So a woman can sleep with a man with no feelings and she's fine. Tradition make people believe that no, a woman, she don't even have to tell the man that I need you. She have to wait for a man to say I want you. A woman should not even behave. She cannot tell a man that I'm not satisfied with the way your performance tonight, because they'll look at her bad. She has to keep herself low. She cannot tell a man take this position because according to tradition, see, that's nonsense. Women are not animals. Women are human beings. The same way a man feels, the woman feels even more than that, because more women are more emotional. A man cannot forgive cheating. A woman cannot. It's tradition and upbringing that make women feel like I can be an option to a man. I can be number 7 as long as he provide for me. As long as he can even say hi. It's even a chance for me. It's even a privilege for me to be in his life. Rubbish.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, if you're a woman of faith, like you claim you are, you should
My
always
sister, faith. The
aim for
Bible says,
forgiveness.
wait, my sister. Ananias and Sapphira in the Bible lie, and they were punished by death. God is a consuming God with fire. My sister,
Okay.
if you don't serve God, you're of the devil. If you don't love a woman, you cheat on her, you're out of that marriage. It's
Throw
simple
your
as that.
family away because you had one cheating episode. Is that what you're trying to tell me? And you say you're a
Oh,
Christian.
no. Thank God for me. I don't have those kind of episodes. But God, if you try it, you're outside.
Oh, okay. So that's your belief. You're willing to
No,
throw
I
your
was
family
brought up,
away
my
for
sister,
one
I was brought up by a father that taught my sister, wait, I don't know, maybe you came from, maybe, I don't know how you were brought up, but me, my father told me that a man that loves me will not cheat on me. And if he cheats, I should leave him. That's how I was brought up. Maybe people were brought up to be second choices, to
It's not
be
about belief.
used by men. It's okay. I accept you people's belief, but for me, a man that loves you will protect your physical health, your
That's
emotional
for you.
health, your psychological health, and your spiritual health. And that is normal. Any other thing is wrong. Any other thing is wrong.
Miss Elise, Luke is saying something, and
And God bless you for your comments.
What was that, Luke? Look, come again, please.
I was saying that we should leave Annie to talk. Let her make her point before trying to cut her short. Let her make her point. It's not okay for somebody talking and somebody trying to cut them short. It's not okay. Let Annie make her point, and you can talk what you want to talk. Annie was making a point before Miss Ellis cut her. It's not right. Everybody has their own opinion on their speech. Don't cut people off when they are speaking.
It's okay. She was very passionate about what she's saying, which is good, right? There's no offense taken at all. It's just a topic that triggered her. So it's okay. But what I was trying to say, you cannot say you're a Christian and you understand the way devil works and he tempts people, and your husband had one cheating episode. You're going to throw your whole family away because of one cheating episode.
My sister, you just cut him, but it was not the only episode. You just cut him.
Miss Elise, hold on. Yes, Uh, Annie, were you done?
No, I was just trying to say, so how does your faith play into your decision making? We talk about Christianity, you're supposed to be forgiving, and you talk about love, all the definition of what the Bible gives us as love, right? Okay, if there's a problem, okay, let's say he does it twice, which is what you're trying to say, and he's a serial cheat. When did it start? What triggered it in his mind? Well, I'm trying to tell you, which is what a lot of women in the West do not understand. And this is why we come to America, we want to adopt the white version of marriage. A lot of us Africans, we grew up in polygamy. People married numerous wives until Christianity came and tried. Even in the Bible, Solomon was a polygamous. A lot of them were polygamous. So you have to look at your Bible very well before you start saying, okay, now we've moved away from polygamy. But a man can cheat with you, lay with you, and you mean nothing to him, even if you go home and love his family more. Men do not view cheating the way women view cheating. This is the reason why a lot of us who come from Africa, who come to the West, who start throwing away our marriages. You divorce your husband for cheating, and then you go and be a side chick to a married man. What are you really condoning? What are you really standing for? I personally believe you need to forgive and you need to go to therapy and save your home. The devil has had, the mission of the devil is to destroy families. And if we don't open our eyes to that, then we're just here wasting our time. If you are a kingdom woman, you should know that there's nobody beyond tempting and there's nobody that is beyond sin. But your family should be the number one priority to protect at all costs. And this is a mission we're after on my YouTube channel. We have to keep families together. We cannot be operating like Westerners. They don't have regard for nothing. They throw it away, get to the next one, and the whole society is falling apart, But as a Christian, you need to think about that. Are you willing to forgive your husband for one episode of cheating, or you're just going to throw it away? Did the man never loved you prior to that? Your dad is telling you that if a man cheats on you, he doesn't love you. That is a huge fallacy. Did he not love you for 20, 30 years before cheating? When did that connect to his shortcomings has now canceled out all the love and care and everything he's done for you?
What I will say is that the Bible says that in the end time, 7 women want a man, want to bear one man's name. 7 women, they'll be like, I don't mind sharing. That's what is coming to pass
in
now.
Africa already.
Women,
We've been doing that before the end time.
No, wait. This is they say the signs of the end time. See, the Bible say you are wonderfully made. You are the daughter of the Most High God. He said, ye are gods. The God himself is a jealous God. He said, you will not serve other God than me. And he said, obey me. If you love me, obey my commandment. It's very easy. I'm okay with women that want to be with men that cheat on them all the time just because them alone want to preserve a marriage that the man is not ready to preserve. It's okay. Kudos to you guys. But what I'm talking to women of value, women that know that they deserve respect, honor, faithfulness, and transparency. They deserve honest men that will protect their integrity in their presence and in their absence. Men of value, a man that tell you his word and stand by it. A man that will not lie to you. A man that will not be deceitful. Those are the women I'm talking to. They know that they deserve honor. A man that he loves you does not want to hurt you because you and him make one. A man that loves you does not want to cheat on you with another woman because he so value what you people have together that he don't want to put his family at risk. It's his job to protect you in your absence. Now, if a woman will say because the devil used him, the devil does not use you. You resist him. You have to be with somebody that can resist temptation. Not somebody who will say, I've fallen now, I'm human being, take me. He will go and cheat on you because you forgive him. He will give you sicknesses. You die, and because of the family you want to so protect, you will die of HIV. He will be taking medication and stay alive. Another woman will come and mistreat your children. The family you so wanted to guard, that family now is at risk. You are no longer there. You are dead, or you are in trauma because you don't love this man anymore. He has shown you pepper, but you are inside because you want to pepper us. You want to show us that marriage is about endurance. But when they talk to you, you are sad. When they look at your pillow, it's yellow because you cry every night. This man, you don't see him. Some women this month of December, a man have not touched them. They're like roommates. No sex, no love, nothing. But because we have to keep the family in the name of the Lord is foolishness. It's foolishness. The Bible says, two cannot work together. Let me go to the scriptures. Two cannot work together except they agree. And when God created man, he created Eve and Adam. He didn't create Eve, Adam, and Anita. He said a man will leave his father and his mother and will cling to his wife. And when people talk about Solomon, it baffles me because Solomon abandoned God and started marrying women from other gods. And when you go to King, First King, Second King, read First King, the first 10 chapters, you will see where Solomon was good to God. He'd give God the biggest sacrifice. When God asked him, what do you want? He said, one wisdom. And God told him, I'll give you everything. But when God blessed him, he became everything. He abandoned God. Go and read it. Solomon was not working with God when he had all those wives. Jacob was not working with God when he went and deceived somebody, deceived his brother, and he got deceived by his uncle. The Bible says, whatever you sow, you will reap. And when you reap in fold, tenfold. When you sow small, you reap more. So I think women should value themselves and look for men that really genuinely love them. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you
Miss
so much.
Elise, you made great points, but I want to say you're jumbling a whole bunch of things together. I said to you, if your husband had one shortcoming, he cheated one time, you're gonna throw your whole family away,
My sister, he did
or
not cheat
you
one time.
forgive
You caught
because the
him
Bible
one
tells
time.
you
My
to
sister, no.
forgive.
That's the psychology behind men that cheat on women and want to make women to accept it. You caught him once. He cheated 1 million times because he was smart. He didn't want you to see it.
Not
You just caught
acceptance.
him once.
Forgiveness.
But before you caught him, my sister, he had so many affairs. You just caught that one, and guess what? When you
Okay,
forgive
so
him,
hold
he
on.
will hide. Wait, my dear. When you forgive him, you know what will happen? Let me tell you what will happen. My sister Annie, I'm not arguing. No, this is fact. Go around. You have married women around you, right? Women are in their 40s, 50, 45, 50 something. Go to those women. Let me tell you something. I'll give you $100 if you bring another different answer. Women that forgive cheaters, they keep forgiving and forgiving
You
and
see the word
forgiving.
you use, cheaters, meaning he's a serial cheat.
My sister,
I'm not
once a
talking
man cheats
about a
once, he will cheat
serial
again.
cheat.
It's like somebody that beat a woman. He will beat her and go and buy a car. He will beat her
No,
again and buy a bag. My sister,
it's not
it's
the
not something
same.
you can change. You understand that you have been
This
wired that you have to forgive. Keep forgiving. Some of us
No,
were not
it's
in the
not
business of
about that.
forgiving.
How can you be a Christian and not talk about forgiveness? I don't
My
understand how
sister,
you're
I
thinking.
forgive you, but I separate from you because I don't want to die of diseases. Are you okay? Do you think I can love a man more than myself, more than my health, more than my children's life? Are you
Okay,
people serious? So you want
let's
okay,
move
Sister
on.
Annie, you want to forgive a man and have HIV in the name of forgiveness?
But everybody that cheats has HIV.
Oh, so you need to,
Everybody that cheats.
when they think the condom will break for you to have sickness, Abi?
Okay.
Please,
Hey,
we need to
it's
wrap it
your
up.
views. Everybody has their views, right?
Annie, keep on going. I understand. Some women are afraid to be alone, and they have low self-esteem and self-confidence that they can give any other reason to stay with a cheater.
Okay,
But kudos to you guys.
it's okay.
Congratulations.
Oh my
Burning,
God.
Elise.
Ellie, you need to know who you're talking to first. What my experiences have been in relationship. I was married for 15 years. I'm divorced. I have a child. Okay, and my child is not even from my marriage. So I've been around and I've seen how men act. But what I'm telling you, you cannot be a Christian woman and not be willing to forgive your husband for one shortcoming. Whether it is cheating, whether it is anything else, even Christ
God bless
extended
you.
forgiveness to us. So what are you really? What
My
are you
sister, meet any African man and ask him, can you forgive your one short cheating of your wife because of Christ? When
starting
you have the
forgive?
answer, you
There are
come, we'll
men who
discuss. You
forgive.
hear me?
All men
My
are not.
dear, never, never. A real man does not forgive a cheater. A real man.
Wow. So that's your own
Yes,
definition of a real man. He
of
cannot
course.
forgive. Okay.
Of course.
Let's agree to disagree. Let's agree to disagree.
Yes, Michelle. This is another show.
Yeah. So Annie, AJ said that he would love to be part of your show on YouTube. So maybe you can put in the comment section like the link to your YouTube channel so that at least we can like your channel, we can follow you, and we can support you on YouTube.
That's true.
So
That's
we love
what you
Yeah,
said.
so we lost Annie, but Annie, if you can hear me, please put the link. Oh yeah, she's back.
You guys, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so please put in the comment section like the link to your channel so we can like give you a follow and support the work you do there.
Please, thank you. I really appreciate it. These are the kind of heated conversations we talk about, right? Like how we Africans we view marriages and relationships in the way that the West is viewing it and how it's impacting our own family. So
That's true. That's
So yeah, let's agree to disagree. Let's agree to disagree. Guy, we need to stop here. We've dragged it so it's almost 2 hours already. So we need to stop. Thank you so much, Annie, for making the time today to come to the show. Thank you.
Thank
We
you
hope
for having me. Thank you, Miss Elise. I really enjoy your passion. You're so fiery.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Miss Elise. Thank you, Stevie. Thank you, Luke. And thank you to everyone in the comment section. AJ, Comfort, Karen, Princess Karen, and everyone else who contributed today. Pastor Francis was in the comment. Uncle Beno, thank you so much, guys. You all have a blessed end of your week and the week ahead. I'll see you next time. I'm still debating if we should have one last show before the end of the year because I do want to take vacation. I do want to enjoy my family during this time. But maybe I'll come up. I'll come out next week, but I'll let you all know. But thank you so much. God bless you. Bye.
It's nice
Thank
being here,
you.
even though
Bye
I didn't
bye.
get to say what I wanted to say. Bye.
Oh, you said what, Stevie?
I had something to say, but the conversation got heated, and I was like, no, let me just chill. Maybe next week.
Save that for next week. Write it down somewhere.
Yes.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Imagine a world where borders are no barriers to love. Welcome to African Abroad Date, a platform for Africans living in the US, Canada, Europe, Australia, and beyond seeking meaningful connections. We've been in the business of love for over 5 years, helping millions find their match. We offer a community where you can search for potential partners based on location, profession, and more. Our profiles are verified, and we provide options to maintain your privacy. Our mission: to help you find lasting love no matter where you are. Sign up today at www.africanabroaddate.com. Bid loneliness goodbye. Let love cross borders, because with African Abroad Date, you're never alone.